Part 2 continues with Yamamoto once again calling Omine out on an important Spriggan mission. As he's about to leave, a girl named Okabe asks him to come to school on Friday no matter what. His other friends explain that Okabe will be changing schools next week, and since Friday is sports day, it'll be their last chance to spend time together. Omine is annoyed, but his friends bully him into agreeing. Then, Omine goes on his mission, which is a freaking battlefield. His mission is to retrieve cargo that the British government is trying to take away on a plane. Omine has to go through many soldiers in the forest, but he defeats them one by one. He rushes forward alone as the plane starts to move, but the British soldiers corner him and knock him off a cliff. However, even that is not enough as Omine climbs back up and kills everyone. One person survives because he lets him go. Then he rushes towards the airstrip as the plane prepares to lift off. He tries to stop it, but he's unsuccessful. Omine follows the British all the way to their headquarters. There, the military is conducting research on the cargo overseen by Lieutenant Colonel Maria Clement. Maria is a genius scientist who now works as a military consultant. The scientist, Mauser, does not like her approach to the ancient relic, but Maria is in full control and does whatever experiments she wants. When they send some electrical sparks into the relic shuts off all the electricity nearby and wakes up. The ancient relic turns out to be a robot of extremely superior technology. When the facility runs out of power, Omine also goes inside. Meanwhile, the British soldiers try to contain the robot, but they are all massacred. Somehow, Maria survives. Omine reaches her, but the robot arrives just then and attacks them. Omine rushes at it with his special orichalcum knife. It pierces the armor, but gets stuck there. So, Omine uses his tactics to drop the robot deep underground, but the robot starts rising again. Omine and Maria meet up in the control room to discuss their plans. He confirms that the robot is an ancient tool of war called a berserker. Maria says that they have no intentions of running away. They will prevent the berserker from escaping into the world no matter what. Omine reveals that Arkham has sealed a berserker before. All berserkers have a self-destruct function which they can use to stop it. Then, Omine looks at the countdown on his watch. In truth, it's the countdown to the sports day. Omine says that he's protecting the world because his friends are his only attachment to this world. Maria stays back and monitors the berserker's movements while Omine goes to face it. Maria tries to shut the blast doors, but somehow it opens up again, and the berserker continues its way out of the base. So, Maria goes to the control room. And who should it be but Mauser? Somehow, he also survived and opened the doors in order to let the world know about the secret ancient technology. Mauser also pulls out a gun, and the two of them shoot at each other. Elsewhere, Omine makes a heroic entry and fights the berserker. Then, he leads it away, but he gets cornered. He contacts Maria for help, and she continues giving him directions despite bleeding away. They lead the berserker into the stronghold shelter, and Maria closes the blast doors. There, Omine releases a lot of steam, which helps in diffusing the berserker's laser beam. Then he takes the knife back from the berserker and finally cuts off his head. The berserker shuts down, but it enters self-destruct mode. So, Omine runs out while Maria shuts the blast doors. The berserker explodes, taking Omine with the explosion. Believing that he is dead, Maria starts mourning for him. But Omine is an anime protagonist, and anime protagonists don't die in mere explosions. Maria thanks him for everything as she collapses to the ground due to her blood loss. Sometime later, Maria wakes up in a hospital. The doctor tells her that she survived only because she got good first aid. Then, her commanding officer comes and warns her not to reveal anything about the ancient relics that the British government was playing around with. Maria realizes that national governments are just corrupted and power-hungry, so she takes her uniform and pulls out her ranks. Elsewhere in Japan, the sports day is in full swing, but Omine has still not arrived. It is the time of the final relay race. Omine's friends are furious at him while Okabe sheds a tear, but Omine makes a late hero entry. He enters the relay race. Despite being in last place and despite being hurt, Omine starts overtaking everyone. He runs too fast and trips, but he rises again and grabs the ribbon with his teeth, ultimately giving his class the victory. While such nice and fun things are happening, an old man named Professor Quahara can be seen running with a package clutched to his chest. Suddenly, a mysterious man stabs him from behind. Back at Arkham, Yamamoto briefs Omine about the incident. Professor Quahara was working for Arkham in Alexandria, but now he is dead and a mysterious crystal skull has gone missing. Omine goes to Egypt to pay respects to the late professor. There, he meets the professor's daughter, Suzuko Quahara. Suzuko blames Arkham for her father's death. She is a high school teacher and she scolds Omine for skipping school. But just then, some men attack them. Omine fights back at them with his usual skills and beats them up easily. Unknown to them, the German government is watching them. The lead commanding officer, called Kutheimer, makes plans to kill Omine. Elsewhere, Omine tells Suzuko about the crystal skull that her father was protecting. He says that it's an ancient relic made with ancient technology. Arkham had another similar skull, and that one could generate enough energy to replace nuclear energy, so they need to find this one as well. Soon after, Omine goes to the German headquarters to take back the crystal skull. But Kutheimer is not alone. With him is the mysterious knife user called Schneider who killed Professor Quahara. Omine goes to kill him, but another soldier named Brantz comes in between. Brantz's body has been enhanced so much that he has super speed. Omine has trouble keeping up with Brantz, but a voice tells him where he will come up. So Omine kicks him and puts a wire around his neck. He is about to finish the job, but another man named Mirage comes and knocks him away with a gentle push. Omine's combat suit is of no use to stop this attack. Realizing that he's outmatched, Omine jumps through the window. Suzuko arrives on a jeep and they escape. That night, the Germans prepare to test the power of the skull. They harness the power of the crystal skull to create a massive explosion. Kutheimer laughs about how Germany will use this power to conquer the world. Omine and Suzuko watch from a distance. Later, Kutheimer presents the skull to his other German colleagues and tells them of the possibilities. However, some of the men there are cautious about the whole thing because Kutheimer is starting to sound a lot like a psychopath, which he probably is. Suddenly, Omine appears behind them eating chips like a chill little boy. When Brantz and Mirage get ready to beat him up, Omine points his gun at the sponsors. But Kutheimer does not care and he starts screaming about establishing the Holy German Empire. Meanwhile, Schneider also appears, having taken Suzuko as a hostage. So Omine gives up his advantage. Schneider starts toying with Suzuko. So Mirage stops him and also beats up the rest of the guards. Kutheimer is shocked to see Mirage change sides, but Omine laughingly reveals that Mirage is actually a Spriggan agent. His real name is Oboro, and he is Omine's master. Basically, he's an OP badass. More German soldiers try to shoot at them, but Oboro and Omine make quick work of them with ease. So Kutheimer leaves with the crystal skull. Schneider also runs away, so Omine follows him to avenge the professor, while Oboro faces Brantz. Omine beats him up with ease and sends him flying out of the window. Then, Omine and Suzuko take their jeep to follow Kutheimer. Meanwhile, Brantz tries to use his speed against Oboro, but for him, that's like a little kid fighting his big brother. Brantz gets dominated with ease. Then, Brantz uses his Shadow Clone Jutsu to attack Oboro, but Oboro just counters with an even more powerful multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. He knocks down Brantz and leaves without killing him, telling him that he has potential and he should continue training. Elsewhere, Omine and Suzuko continue their chase on Kutheimer. They go from the city to the desert. Kutheimer commands his men to use the skull, so Omine takes a grenade and uses his superhuman strength to throw it into the German truck. The grenade explodes just before the skull activates. Suzuko takes it back, happy that her father's sacrifice did not go to waste. Kutheimer survives the explosion because, why not? He starts escaping, but Oboro comes and stops him. He paralyzes Kutheimer and leaves him to die in the hot desert. Sometime later, Suzuko joins Omine's school as their new history teacher. She also informs Omine that she has joined Arkham as an archaeologist. Omine is happy to hear that. But all over the world, scientists from various institutions detect a strange magnetic phenomenon in the ocean. The gravity there is super unstable, and so is the atmosphere above it. Somehow, the scientists manage to see a lonely island right at that location. So, Omine and a special advisor for Arkham called Foster go to investigate the island. They take their special research vessel, the Rocinite, but the Tomb Raider Yoshino also joins them without permission. Amane suggests to Foster that they should throw her aboard, but Yoshino uses her charms on Foster and gains permission to stay with them. Meanwhile, a battleship under United States command is closely observing their movements. When they find out that it's Arkham, they start shooting missiles at them. Foster immediately uses Rosinate's anti-missile lasers to stop them. The American crew members are surprised at the power of the Arkham ship. The captain starts getting cautious, but one man commands them to continue their task. Larry Markison is the chief of Trident. You know Trident, the guys we met in the Forest of No Return? This guy, Larry, is their boss, and he is more powerful than most international leaders. They continue their assault on the Arkham ship, Rosinette, but Foster picks up a crazy speed far surpassing any ship on the water. Larry sends more missiles their way, and Rosinette uses its laser to dismantle them again. Then, they rush to the enemy battleship and use their lasers to blow up one side of it. Larry and a general named Bowman start guessing that the Spriggan Amane is also on board. The Rosinette continue their journey and they finally reach the Ghost Island. The moment they reach there, all their electrical equipment, like sonar and radar, stop working. On top of that, the island keeps on distorting right in front of them. The US ship also reaches the island. Larry sends Bowman to retrieve a special item from the island and kill anyone who gets in the way. Bowman goes in, a one-man army. In the island, the Arkham team finds a ship called the Eldridge, which apparently disappeared into thin air 40 years ago. Larry tells the captain that the island is actually an artificial island with a teleporting device inside. Many missing ships and planes have ended up here. Meanwhile, the Arkham team is attacked by ancient stone warriors. Their bullets have no effect on them, so Amane uses his orichalcum knife to cut them to pieces. But in the confusion, Yoshino ditches them. As she's investigating, she finds a body that has aged only a couple of months. Her concern quickly fades when she finds a strange locket and puts it around her neck. The moment she does so, she is transported to a strange place and a wave of golden light hits her. Then she wakes up to reality. Elsewhere, Amane is suddenly attacked by Bowman. Amane shoots back, but Bowman disappears and shoots from the opposite direction. Then, Bowman starts talking to him like he knows him. He starts talking about how he trained Amane. Then, he suddenly appears out of nowhere and puts his knife to Omane's throat. Amane also recognizes him. It turns out, Bowman is actually a former Spriggan, but he betrayed Arkham and he's working with Trident now. Just then, Yoshino comes and tells them to be urgent. The teleportation device in the island is getting out of control. The truth is that the artificial island is used to teleport to other dimensions, but now it has drawn too much energy from Earth. If it activates, a large part of the Pacific Ocean, including Japan, will be taken to another dimension. Since they need to work together to destroy the island's power reactor, Bowman lets go of Amane for now. They find a World War II aeroplane with an atomic bomb inside it still intact. They plan to use the bomb to destroy the island's power reactor. As they prepare the bomb, Amane thinks back to his Arkham training days with Bowman. Bowman was a pacifist who wanted to stop the ancient relics from getting into the wrong hands. He also told Amane that he has the potential to be the greatest Spriggan ever. Back in the present, Bowman forces Yoshino to give him the locket. After she does so, Amane sends Yoshino back to the ship while he prepares for a showdown with Bowman. Bowman says that he set the atom bomb timer to 90 minutes. Then he uses his doppelganger powers to fight Amane. Amane hits him many times, but Bowman always survives with his powers. He cuts Amane several times. Then, Bowman tells him that Amane's kind-heartedness has gotten many of his allies killed. Amane is still haunted by the death of his colleagues at the hands of many enemies, all because he himself was not ruthless enough. Hearing these words, Amane awakens his own bloodlust and fights Bowman so seriously that he finally stabs his former instructor. Before dying, Bowman praises him for winning the fight. Then, he says that Arkham is not always in the right and he should be more cautious. He thanks Amane for giving him this last fight. Amane screams in pain as his teacher dies in his arms. Amane takes the locket and thinks about Bowman's final words, about Arkham not always being in the right. His friends come and rescue him just as the atom bomb explodes, destroying the island with it. When Yoshino asks Amane where the necklace is, he says that he forgot it, but she's happy as she found some treasures in a passenger ship. The sun shines brightly on the sea as they return home. In the post-credit scene, we see many soldiers dead in a forest. An assassin comes and kills the last remaining soldier. After that, he gets sent on another mission to kill a high schooler named Omine. But that's for Season 2, which will be released somewhere near in the future. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching!